You're listening to Oilersnation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Welcome to Oilersnation Radio, episode 76. Brought to you by our fine friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant out in beautiful Sherwood Park, Alberta. Go ahead and follow them on Twitter at Sherwood Ford and on Instagram at SherwoodFord_the Giant. As always, if you see Jay cruising around in the Nation truck, snap a photo of it. Tag us along with Sherwood Ford. Use that hashtag Nation Truck and you'll be entered to win a $100 gas card.
So I was thinking about something.
Go ahead.
Remember when we used to say it's the Sebastian Bassalian podcast for every podcast? Mm-hmm. And then out of nowhere, Drew from Sherwood Ford hooked us up with Sebastian Bassalian. Why don't we try and say it's the Wayne Gretzky podcast and just see if somebody could hook us up with Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, I thought you had a number for 76. That's where I thought you were going with this.
He's just giving us 23 shows in advance to try and get someone to help us.
We need help to get Wayne Gretzky on for the 99th podcast.
What we really need is a producer that's capable.
Oh, Hernan.
I love you, Tyler.
I also love you,
I'm trying to think of famous Oilers phone numbers I have that I could reach out to.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of it.
I have... Out of the retired numbers, I got 3 in my phone. How about that? That's a flex.
What that is
Strudwick wear 76?
No. Corey Potter, maybe? Corey Potter?
There's a defenseman in my head.
We have got Brian Young is the only Edmonton Oilers to wear 76 in 2007, 2008.
Well, 78, we know who 78 is.
77, there was a lot of players. Pouliot is at 78. 79 had a couple. Briz is the only one at 80.
Oh, Brizgalov would be a good guess.
Yeah.
Tyler, we need to get Brizgalov for
Brian Young is now playing in South Korea.
It's probably dope.
The Asia League.
He still isn't putting up great numbers playing with the Dame Young Killer
he's like
Whales.
63.
Yeah, how old is he now?
He's 33 only.
Oh, come on.
He's a young man.
And he's been in this in the Asia League since 2010.
It's an up-and-coming league, okay? He's going to turn it around. He's playing for South Korea in the World Cup.
Oh, yeah, he would be, huh?
Wow.
And he still isn't putting up points with them. Brian Young, stay at home through and through.
Well, I assume the South Korean team is a powerhouse and points come just pouring waterfalls for all of them.
They don't need him. They don't need him to add the offense.
I would love if he's just like the worst team.
Well, Tyler is checking the... What league is this called?
It's just called the Asia League.
All right.
How do I get to standings?
So we're looking through elite prospects, the standings for Brian Young's team here in South Korea.
There's another Canadian on his team, Brock Higgs.
Oh, I love Brock Higgs.
No, he's just...
You guys remember Higgsy?
Higgs Boson.
Best nickname.
Drew McIntyre. Hey, he was around the NHL.
WWE guy.
Yeah, I was going to say the wrestler?
Big time WWE guy.
Oh, there's no A in McIntyre's name.
It's McIntyre.
He was in the NHL fairly recently as well, actually. Wow.
I assume he's brothers with Steve McIntyre because that last name is only for 2 people. Tyler is still looking around the Asian
I don't know
League.
how to get the standings.
Steve McIntyre, what a player that guy was.
They probably just hope everybody goes out and has fun.
League information.
No scoreboards?
Facts.
Yeah.
Like, we're not keeping track of points here, guys.
That's why Brian Young doesn't have any points is because they don't keep track of those things. They just want to have a good time.
What is this?
These are the team
Blades.
What are these team names?
The East Hokkaido Cranes.
Oh, that's sweet.
The Gangwon High 1.
PSK Sakhalin.
I like the Hayang Hala.
Holla. That must mean like
Oilers
bear.
in a playoff push, and here we are.
Nico Icebox.
Here we go. The Killer Whales. They're coming off a semifinal loss, or maybe they did lose in the semifinals already.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they're
eliminated.
It's rough. Over? Oh, the season's over.
It's a rough exit.
No, it can't be because there's 2 teams left. Hala and Sakhalin.
Oh, I'm all Hala.
All right, well, next week we'll have updates. We should have a champion by next week.
Should we bet on this?
And it's not going to be Brian Young.
5 Canadians play in this league.
Tyler, if you're putting money down on the
and we know you are,
the Asia League final,
you take the over?
Who you got? You got the Hala?
Are the Eagles still in it?
Absolutely.
You're the one that's looking at the standings.
I have it up on the screen for you guys. No, the Eagles are out as well. Probably Hala then, right?
Yeah, Hala's got it.
Do you think the other team just plays out of Russia?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you think?
Of course they're going to win. Pick the Russian team because they don't want to lose. Disappoint Poots.
No, Poots is not going to let them lose this.
Do you think the Free Blades at one point were just the Blades, and then they were
the Free Blades won 4 games this year?
That's a rough go.
Yikes!
That is what is that?
Could you imagine being a 4-game winning streak?
Seasons.
Yeah,
4-game winning streak. Start the year off.
It.
We're up 4-0 coming out of game 4. Yeah, let's go, guys.
There's some interesting facts. They have a 42-year-old goalie and a 42-year-old defenseman in the league.
Hey, so
we got chances to.
Alex Plante is in this league.
Come on.
He has a
Alex
South Korean
Plante,
flag next to
former
his name.
first-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers.
There
Yeah.
are 2 former Oilers
Is
playing
this our
in this
development league?
He plays for Hala. He's in the finals.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely
going
going to
Team
win.
Holla.
Okay,
Let's
I'm going to
go,
step aside
Hala.
for a few minutes. I'm going to try to find a way to contact him.
Yeah, we need to
Okay.
figure out how to get
He's in the middle of a playoff rush.
Asia
Are you going to call him right
League
now?
champion.
It also looks like he's a dual citizen of both South Korea and Canada.
That's
Good
dope.
for him.
Yeah.
Hey,
First round, 15th overall.
that's freedom of travel, friends.
I like that. Good for
That's
him.
what the Ryan Smyth trade got us.
We'll have to get a jersey to hang up behind us here.
Absolutely.
So that no one can see it.
Come on the podcast.
Holla, for those of you that are not huge Asian League fans like the rest of us, has got a sweet polar bear logo. Sweet polar bear logo.
I thought you were just saying holla to people that don't follow the league.
You should follow the league. Alex Plante's there.
This is the best episode we've ever done.
We should probably just end now.
I think we wrap it up. Thank you to Skip the Dishes.
There is some news, though, today, boys. While Tyler is looking how to get in touch with Alex Plante, maybe he's got an Instagram account.
Asia
No
League
Insta, no
Radio
Twitter.
podcast.
Oh, good for him, man.
Off.
No social.
The grid.
Off the grid. Today, Josh Archibald signed a 2-year contract extension worth $1.5 million per annum. And I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. In 59 games played, Mr. Archibald has 12 goals, 8 assists for 20 points. He's moved up and down the lineup, killing penalties, throwing hits. He is, you know what? I would feel that his nickname should be Honey Badger more so than Yamamoto, but
I'm
we can
with
get to
you.
that. Tyler, do you like the signing?
How can you not love this signing, man? Like, it's $1.5 million, so it's nothing. Even if he falls off the face of the earth next season, you bury it, and it's really only $400K against your cap. But this guy, he can do spot duty in the top 6. He can be a damn good third line winger. He skates hard. He penalty kills. He can score at 5-on-5. There's really not anything to dislike about Josh Archibald's game, and there's nothing to dislike about a 2-year deal for him.
Counterpoint before we move on. GCW_69. Nice. Says if he's playing third line minutes, it's a good deal. If he's playing fourth line minutes, it's a bad deal. Nicholas Good, how do you feel about that?
No, I think Archibald is a fine depth signing, something that we haven't had in a long time. And I talked about earlier in the season, having guys carry over on this team and not turn over, 30% of the roster every summer is important. So glad to see him. Yeah, he can move up and play with McDavid when need be, and then also be effective with Sheahan on the third line. So I love it.
Rick?
Yeah, I don't know what that guy's talking about. The third, fourth line, 1.5, it's fine. We already know the cap's going up quite a bit, hopefully on the upper end of what we were told. So, yeah, he fits in quite well. He's obviously, he looks good on the ice. He had a rough start to the year and still has the points he has right now. I'm all for it.
Yeah, when it comes to that guy's scale, it's like, well, yeah, but he fits in on the top line every once in a while, so that's fucking phenomenal. If he fits in on the second line, that's a good fit there. Although I hope they don't break up that line anytime soon. But yeah, he's a great utility knife kind of player, and you got him for 2 years. And I think the true value of Archibald is going to come out in this playoff run that we're going on. Everybody knock on wood. That I think that he's the guy that you're going to get that Lucic kind of. That grit and that.
You mean absolutely nothing?
Yeah, exactly. No,
Nothing of value whatsoever.
Playoff Lucic. You're going to have a great player there that come playoff time, that $1.5 million is going to make Ken Holland look like a genius.
You know what they say? You make your money in the regular season, but you earn it in the playoffs. And I think that stands true of Josh Archibald.
How about Uncle Ken getting more work done here? He is just knocking off his to-do list here mid-season. He's going to have a casual summer.
No, he's not.
Sitting out by the lake.
You know what he's got to do. You know what he has to do this summer.
Of course I know what he has to do. And I want to talk about that because just this week, salary cap estimates for next year is $84 to $88.2 million, which is a sizable bump.
Let's get the big one, please.
It's time to extend my boy, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, because he has got 1 year left on his current deal. It was 7 years, $42 million. Mac T signed it back in the day. It's time for an extension. This is obviously going to help.
Yep.
What are we thinking about for Nuge? Because right now he's on a heater to end all heaters. He's got 9 points in his last 4. He is pushing being a point per game player for the first time in his career. If he can get there, I'm going to be very, very aroused and happy.
You ever been aroused and not happy?
Well, sometimes, but that's a personal choice of mine, and I'd rather not discuss it on the podcast.
Come on, bring it back.
7. If it has a 7 in front of it, for me, it's a great deal.
Years or dollars?
both, but dollars for sure.
Yeah, I could see it. He's at what, 6 right now? 7.5. I could probably get talked up to 8 if we know what the cap number is, but I'd try and prefer to keep it like 7.5.
Because he does have the 1 year left on this current contract. Cap's going up. Hopefully the next year after will continue to go up. Maybe. I'm hoping 7.5 to 8, somewhere in there, over 7. That'd be nice. I'd like to see a first time end-to-end Oiler. Nick?
I don't think it's anywhere below 8 million at all. Especially he's at the end of his 20s, entering free agency for the first time. He would get that on the open market for sure.
Yep.
If the cap goes up with inflation, all that kind of stuff, I think 8 million is the bare minimum. If he's taking anywhere in the $7 million range, then that is a discount. And that'd be nice, but I just don't see it happening. Also, we have to be careful about the cap going up and getting excited about that, because there's a whole lot of factors that have to go into that. It's going to involve the players possibly having to agree to accept the 5% $5 million cap escalator. It all works in this escrow bullshit and stuff like that. So right now it seems like a lot of politicking by the NHL side as they enter new CBA negotiations, where that could kind of come out and make the players look like the bad guys by being like, we wanted the cap to go up by 5 million guys, but players didn't want it. So
that's kind of always how it is,
yes.
Right?
So I don't know if it will be going up to 88 million. If anything, like maybe a couple million bucks.
86 is what my
they said
would have been. Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be like 83. Won't be as much as we hope, but either way, Nuge has to get signed.
But does a Leon Draisaitl number, which I know is fucking ridiculous for what he's doing, especially right now, could be a league MVP by that point, should be a league MVP by that point. Does that hurt Nuge's negotiation ability? Right, he's not Leon Draisaitl. He's not the MVP of the league.
He's also only put up 69 points. That's his career high.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's the offense is there definitely right now. We've always believed it would be there if they gave him 2 legit wingers or 2 guys to play on. But so I think that kind of keeps him a little bit lower too.
Yeah, I have his numbers pulled up on the screen for you guys right now. As you said, career high 69 points in 82 games.
Nice.
He might pass that this season.
Should.
I think he's going to.
On Puckpedia right now, you guys can see all the players making between $7 and $9.5 million. Like Jeff Skinner got that deal last summer after his breakout year in Buffalo, but I think everyone can kind of agree that was probably more of a bad signing, and Buffalo having to pay a lot to make sure that a guy didn't leave. The deal I'm looking at as a comparable is actually the one Matt Duchene signed this summer with the Nashville Predators. He's a couple years older than Nugent-Hopkins, but I think it'll only be like an 18-month difference from when Duchene was UFA to when Nugent-Hopkins would potentially be a UFA. And if you look at his career numbers, like career high 70 points in 71 games back in 13-14 with the Avalanche. In his final season, he had a really good run with the Senators, but then fell off with the Jackets. He got exactly $8 million on a long-term deal, and I think that's the number we're probably looking at for Nugent-Hopkins, somewhere between 8 and the 8.5 that Draisaitl makes. I think it'll be snuck right in there, and it'll probably be for 7 years, but I think it'll get done. Do you think it'll get done this summer?
I hope
they
so.
have to get it done this summer.
Really?
To me, here's the way I look at it is, in terms of getting it done this summer, Nuge is going to be coming off an absolute heater end of his season. So for him, that's a great time to negotiate a new contract. You never know what's going to happen with just health or any of that going into next season. Again, knock on wood. I want him to be healthy forever. Or he could bet on himself and say, look, I'm going to play with Leon and Yamo, maybe, probably. According to Daily Faceoff, that is the best second line in hockey. Does he bet on himself for another year thinking that he can surpass it and go over a point per game?
I maybe, but I don't think he's that type of guy. I could see him maybe just waiting, just because you wait for your contracts up to get it done. But I think Holland's going to sit there and just talk to him. Hey man, let's get this wrapped up right now, and then look at who's under the umbrella for how long.
I also think
there's Leon, there's Connor. There's gonna be so many guys. This is a hell of a nucleus here. We're building something here. Let's get this done and allow me to go sprinkle around the outside.
I also think it's going to be very important just in terms of being like, hey, Ryan, we need you here for the team to have some success. He's been through so much shit in this city just in terms of bad hockey teams. Like, the Oilers have already passed their points total from last year. It's odd to think about it. We still got, what'd you say, Tyler, 14 games left?
Yeah.
But, the guy's going to want to win. He doesn't want to just come and fuck the dog and then bounce off to ride ponies for the summer. So they need to do a little bit of winning, They need to at least show these guys that we're moving in the right direction. And I think that's nice that Holland is also getting some cost certainty at the lower end of the lineup as well, knowing what he's going to have going into next year. Let's just lock him up.
I don't see any reason why, from Ken Holland's perspective, that you wouldn't want to get it done right now.
And Uncle Ken seems like the kind of guy who seems to be getting his things done now. He doesn't want to wait on a lot of these things, so I can't imagine Nugent-Hopkins would be any different. Keep Nuge forever. That's the story. That's the end of it. Right, Tyler?
Yeah, I think in a salary cap world too, you want that certainty, right? You want to be able to look 2 summers down the road and go, all right, this is what I'll have to deal with then. Like, we already have all these guys kind of locked up and ready to go. And it could also have an effect on other long-term deals, right? Like, if they can get Nuge locked up now and they know that, okay, he's not going to be making more than $8 million, then going and signing a guy like Ethan Bear to a potential long-term deal could also get easier.
Of course. There's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. In the meantime, it's time to check in on the Sherwood Ford Giant question of the week.
Giant. This week's Sherwood Ford Giant question of the week, which is brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant out in Sherwood Park, is which rookie has impressed you more this season? Is it Kyler Yamamoto or Ethan Bear? We floated it out on the socials. We made it our story as well. And the voting on our Instagram surprised me a little bit. 66% of our voters said Kyler Yamamoto. 34% of them said Ethan Bear.
Offense sells tickets.
Offense sells tickets, I
More
suppose.
recent too.
Yep.
Yeah, a recency bias potentially as well, because at the beginning of the year, Bear was great, and he's managed to do it throughout the entire season. Kyler Yamamoto has obviously been a spark that's helped them get close to the top of the division as well. So I guess we can just kind of go around the table on this one here. Nick?
Yeah, I think it has to be Ethan Bear. No slight to what Yamamoto's done. He's obviously really helped balance the offense, but playing on the wing on a second line is not as hard as having to play top 4 minutes defensively in the NHL. So I think it's Ethan Bear, and night in and night out, he plays way outside of his age, what his age would show with his poise and some of his decision making. He makes his defensive partner, who just signed a 2-year extension, look like the more of the rookie defenseman sometimes. So Ethan Bear is my choice.
In 68 games played, Ethan Bear's got 5 goals and 16 assists with 21 points. Doesn't get a whole lot of power play time. Basically none. I'm still surprised that Nurse is playing on the power play with Clefbaum up, but that's another story. Kyler Yamamoto in 24 games played has 11 goals, 13 assists for 24 points. Rick, who's been more impressive to you?
I got to go with Nick here on this one. And everybody knows how much I love Yam. He's done wonders for us. And if that short little while we didn't have him there a couple of games ago, we definitely noticed a difference in the lineup. But having said that, playing defense at the amount of minutes he's playing against the guys he's playing against, it's phenomenal, especially, with his draft pedigree, where he came from, the fact that, he didn't even get a taste last year, that he really just stepped up this year and grabbed the bull by the horns and he's handled it very, very well, I think.
Grab the brass ring.
Well, I was going to say Ethan Bear, but that's boring. So it's Kyler Yamamoto. For a guy that is just found money, basically, right? We're the whole season we're talking about how we need secondary scoring, we need some help on the wings, and then all of a sudden we just pull Yamamoto out of the AHL at the absolute right time, right, Rick? And and he comes in and he solidifies our second line, gives us something to work with, and then this team at the end of December was looking like they were going to fall apart. This team last year in December absolutely fell apart. The wheels came off and nothing could be fixed after that. Yeah. Yamamoto comes in. The trend is the exact same way this year. Yamamoto comes in. All of a sudden this team's right back in the mix. We're talking about possibly winning our fucking division right now. And Kyler Yamamoto is the catalyst that caused all that.
Can I just talk about Kyler's goal from last night?
Unreal.
He picked a fucking corner.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there was no better place he could have put it.
There was no other place he could have. No other place. I mean, it was that spot or no spot.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And that thing got up fast.
Tyler, what's your answer?
Man, it is really, really tight. Like, both these guys have been so good. But I always say that defensemen are harder to find than forwards. And I do think that there is some recency bias to all those who voted for Yamamoto, because, I mean, Ethan Bear, how long have we been clamoring for a top 4 right shot puck moving defenseman in this city? Since Pronger left, basically. I'm not saying Ethan Bear is Pronger, but he's really giving us a really solid top 4 puck moving D-man. It's something we haven't had in a long, long, long time.
Looking at the answers on Twitter, we've got... fuck's his name, Dan? Ganjaldolf?
That is Ganjolf.
Both are great, but I give the edge to Bear because he owned his offseason mistakes to better himself and became who he is now. Jordan says it's got to be Bear, but not by much. He came to training camp and have been the worst. He came from training camp and have been at worst a number 4 D-man all year, and for many games our number 1. Yamo has been great, literally a point per game player that we brought in from the AHL, but it has only been half a season.
Yeah, that's fair. They're super close, but I think you have to give it to the defenseman in this point.
And Burbacker just says Bear.
Is the Gandalf like a stoner play on Gandalf?
Yeah, I think it might be.
I guess.
Looks like it, yeah. It's clever.
I want to be his friend.
Well done. But yeah, I just think the longevity thing is what gives Bear the nod, but I still think that Yamamoto is a big reason why
phenomenal.
the turnarounds happen.
Just to finish things off, I'm going to go with Ethan Bear as well, because I think that playing defense in the NHL as a 22-year-old, probably thrown into the deep end of the pool out of necessity more than anything. Mm-hmm. You got to give him credit.
He kind of played his way there, though, too, right? There's nobody really on the team. They didn't really put him there over top of anybody. They all put everybody at the start line, and he kind of just grabbed the spot.
Can you imagine where we'd be if that was Joel Pearson's spot at a camp because
Chris
Bear
Russell
didn't
still?
take this step forward?
R.I.P. Joel Pearson.
Keep forgetting about Joel Pearson.
Now Anaheim Duck, Joel Pearson.
Yeah.
Ethan Bear, getting a lot of love, except from Dan. Dan doesn't like Ethan Bear.
Okay.
Hates him.
Beef sells records. Fucking Yamamoto, the best. And Rick gave up on Yamamoto so fast.
Tyler Benson should be in the ECHL. Go.
Well,
I think he's going to look pretty good up here next year.
who?
Benson.
Is there even going to be room for him, man?
I think so, yeah, because there's like the Juja or the whatever. That's
Chason's
that role.
probably gone too.
Yeah, exactly. In that type of a role, getting a guy out there with offensive talent, he would have even helped. Like last night, there was times where I was like, well, just putting a guy out there with talent, offensive side.
I don't know about the Chason thing. I think if Tippett has...
I don't know. The guy was...
If Tippett has any influence over Ken Holland's decisions, he's probably like, I love this guy. I don't know what it is. Tippett really seems to like Alex Chason.
Well, how many of us were in like the game against Dallas? Oilers got a power play in overtime.
4 forwards.
You see, which I like. I
was
four
fine.
forward. But you see Alex Chason out there, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
No, because you had to run your normal power play, and then Connor was going to take his spot plus Bears, so you run your normal power play after that.
I was going to say, before you can even get fuck out, he's scoring the goal anyway. So
Yeah, and then like the funny thing about that was he had so much time. You don't often see an NHL player with that much time.
Well, that defenseman had 2 options: go to him, leave the pass open, or try and block the guy who scored 1 billion goals in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. He definitely, and like goalie, this is on you, bud. You can take the $1 million guy or the $2 million guy, and I'll keep an eye on the MVP guy over here.
Yeah, that was a tough spot to be in when Leon Draisaitl's perched on the bottom of the circle in his spot, waiting for that one-timer to be like, shit.
I got to give some credit to that Dallas crowd, though. They were hot. That was a hot crowd that night. They were fired up and into that game.
Same with the Nashville crowd the night before. Man, that's gonna be fun when we head down to Nashville next year.
Oh, I can't wait. That city, it's like Vegas too, right? And I take nothing away from what's going on inside because they do a good job inside, but it's not the inside the arena that everybody keeps pumping their tires about. Like, yeah, they do a good job, but they don't do that great of a job. The fact is, everyone's walking in like a 7 or 8 out of 10 energy level already, and they're just feeding with it.
But
that's why it's different over here when it's a Tuesday in January. Yeah. We're all frozen. Everyone's more like a 4.5, and they come in, they sit down, and whatever. But
I respectfully disagree though, because I think that
it's all
what
same.
the team does is they use screen prompts.
We do too, though.
They get the crowd interacted with stuff. The chance that they encourage that shit. There's nothing of that here, except for the Freddie Mercury thing that the team's doing right now, or that chant thing where they're like, "Hey, all fans from St. Albert cheer." Like, they use their audio visual to improve.
But it gets just as quiet in there. Like when we started yelling shame when they got a penalty, though that whole band over there, I could feel them staring holes in us because we could make race so loud.
I actually agree with Rick. I was shocked to see how little they actually do in the arena with all the talk about how they're so good at production and pumping people up. Like, other than the one thing that they did that I thought is cool is the band starts doing a drum roll as penalties are being killed.
Yeah,
which I thought is cool. Like that's a cool interaction. But other than that, I agree. Like,
it's the fact that everyone's excited. Everybody's coming in with like an 8 energy level,
right?
And at that point, it's fucking easy.
But the pregame stuff in Vegas, the music is 18 decibels higher than.
I don't think that has anything to do with it, though.
And it does play into it, that the fact that you're partying out on the strip and all that kind of stuff.
You're
and then
walking in ready to
I
roll.
think the fact that you're rolling around New York, double fisting White Claws is what's getting.
For sure. And I'm not saying that it's. But it's not like people in Nashville.
I don't think it's the audio visual prompt being like.
But it's not.
Guys, let's cheer now.
But are we going to pretend that Nashville has a bunch more drunk people on a Monday night? Like
I
they
think
play it
so.
on a Monday night.
We're gonna find out though. It's a party town. It's Nash Vegas.
Locals right there.
Nash
The
Vegas.
Pint is right there. All these bars are there. People can drink if they want to, but they're doing the exact same thing we are. They're coming from work and going to a game.
Dan, what were you holding at the end of that Vegas game in your hand?
Yeah, that motherfucker is
cups.
big.
Yeah,
Two
but
cups.
how big was the cup you were holding?
3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
there
think
is.
there's a-
yeah, for sure. But I also drink a beer at Rogers Place, and I get crazy. But I just think,
But it's not even us though. It's pretty much the non-fan fans that are there.
There's people that at Oiler games right now, they get actively angry if you're cheering. They just do.
No, that's not true.
They do,
My
though.
I don't know where you're sitting, but my whole section
Upper
thinks
bowl.
I'm hilarious.
I know they
Definitely not.
But
I know. Hey, I question it as much as everybody else because I can be an idiot sometimes.
because you're genuinely
a lot of times.
You're genuinely.
But
like
what I'm doing though is I'm being an ass. I'm just doing what I do, and nobody's.
But you're doing it in a fun way, and you're having fun with it.
Yeah, but
And
nobody's getting mad at me though. For
I just
I
playing.
think the
people
big difference
bitch.
the obvious difference is that Nashville and Vegas are holiday towns.
Yes.
Yeah. See, and I think that's what it is too. I think we're going to learn a bit as we go over to Vegas, and then we'll, as the years go on, we'll start to visit all around towns, and we'll see what it's like.
Nashville, big destination for bachelor contestants these days.
Yeah, that probably drives the attendance in their rink.
Wasn't that a story last year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's
a bachelorette there,
lot
but
of
there's a
people
hockey
from
game going on, and they got all pissed off about it or something.
Because what we need to do is we need to go to, when we do a nation vacation, to a place that's not like a holiday city, not a Vegas, not a Nashville. Then
Yeah,
we
like
can
when we
see
roll
what it's
into
like.
Minnesota.
No, I'm still pushing for Carolina. I'm still pushing for Raleigh.
See, I
North
think Carolina would be
No,
fun,
I don't
man.
know if I trust myself there.
Yeah, but then we'd have to look at the 06 Stanley Cup banner for a whole
I'm not
night.
looking at that.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll just Photoshop the Garth Brooks banner over it and be like, you don't
Hey,
have one of these.
can we talk about
motherfucker.
this? How the fuck did Nashville get a Garth Brooks banner?
What?
Yeah, they
have
got
the
one.
exact same banner.
There was I think it was Sam G. I think it was the girl who she was
Sam
at the
and
game and there's a picture in her. I was like, what the hell? How do they have one?
Yeah, so
I thought we were exclusive with this guy.
no.
Oh, no. But does Nashville have a Brett Kissel banner?
Oh, we don't, do we?
We had him in the
But we
broadcast.
should.
Oh, well, fuck, they might. We just let them talk for a whole period.
No, they had. I think they may have even had their banner before us.
So
Probably
the
not.
Nashville Predators gave Garth Brooks a banner on November 1st, 2017 after the superstar, quote unquote, sold 151,677 tickets and raising millions of
How
dollars.
many shows is that though?
For flood relief. Yeah,
9 shows.
yeah. It says
So
it on
they
the banner.
matched.
Didn't he do 9 shows here?
Yeah,
So
Did you
is,
guys-
is that a thing though? Do you sell 9 shows, you get a banner somewhere?
I guess.
Did you hear about Pekka
I've done 9
Rinne?
podcasts.
I like
You
it.
deserve a banner.
Did you know that Nashville is our sister city?
Yep.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
Pekka Rinne bought like all the flashlights in some department store or some hardware store to hand out to people for Toronto for tornado relief.
To find how he was a good goalie
No,
at
let's
one
not
point.
do that.
Did you see
Good for Pekka Rinne, though. That's
Yeah,
very
that's
nice.
a
the
cool-
coach
that
of the
is cool.
Tennessee Titans? He's he's like it'd be a lot better if everyone started like helping out, cleaning up instead of taking pictures. Like put your camera down and left a branch.
I mean, it's true.
That's 100% true.
It's not wrong. Switching gears entirely from what's going on in Nashville, I want to talk about Andreas Athanasiou because he is a dividing topic right now in the nation. First game in, goal and an assist. We were all pumped. We were all fired up.
Chanting his name.
Now,
Eating Chick-fil-A.
some folks have turned on him already. I was reading the Nation comments last night. Obviously, the Oilers lose against Chicago. People are a little bit saltier than normal.
He had a crossbar early in the third.
I thought last night was actually one of his best games since his first. But people are saying it's a bust trade already. How could Holland give away 2 picks for this guy? And I want to talk a little bit of sense into some folks of how you cannot write off a trade 6 games into it. Nick, tell us about Athanasiou.
Just welcome to fucking Edmonton, eh? Like 3 games in, like what a bust of a trade. I actually wrote about him last night / this morning in my morning report, saying that I thought once he was put back with McDavid, he played really well, and he actually helped McDavid's possession numbers in the third period after 2 pretty bad first periods. So I think it's worth looking at putting him back on that top line with McDavid, whether it be with James Neal or Tyler Ennis. I don't think it really matters. Neal seems to play really well with McDavid, so that's a good pairing there. But I don't know, man. Like I think there's rumors that he might be a little bit banged up. Like I think you'd said bagged milk, so that's always a factor. But I don't know. I think he's a fine player. I think he's got plenty of skill. Tippett has kind of moved him up and down the lineup in every game he's played in. So he hasn't had consistency that Ennis has had playing with McDavid mostly. So I don't know. I think it's worth putting him back in that top line and see what he can do because they played well together in the third period.
I also think that people need to really look at how bad Detroit is this year. And he's going from that to this, and that's a massive change.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember 06? Do you guys remember getting a certain goaltender? And I know his Rolly was not looking good going into the playoffs.
I have the stats right here from my tweet.
Yeah, like that was the last time we made a trade like this, and he didn't have a great start, and he got going. Everybody needs to calm down, let him find his spot, and he'll be fine.
So Rolison was real bad in Minnesota. I don't have his record from before his trade to Edmonton, but after his trade to Edmonton, he went 8-7-4 with a .905 save percentage. And as I pointed out on Twitter, imagine if Twitter existed back then, what we would have been doing to Rolison. It's a funny thing, like, because I think this...
Before you go on, Dan, he was 6-17-1 in Minnesota.
Yeah, it was real bad. It was real bad. So he came into a new team, came into a new system. So I don't know, like, it's just... We, as a city, we haven't had a lot of trade deadlines since then where we've been buyers. So I would say that this is probably the first.
We got to go back to Rollison for the last one. Hey, last time we were buyers, it was Rollison.
And this is a big thing, right? We're not used to this kind of a move where you're grabbing a guy that you're going to sign long term potentially and get a big boon out of it.
And he's going to find his comfort zone too.
So
right?
people are looking at a price of 2 second-round picks as being a massive up pay for a guy that we've gotten 4 games out of, and they've been horseshit.
Like, even look at how long it took Jared Smithson to get acclimated here, right?
How dare you?
Said that with a straight face, too.
Athanasiou's numbers haven't been terrible. Like, he's been on the ice for 2 even-strength goals for and 2 even-strength goals against. His shot for percentage has only been below 50%. 3 out of the 6 games. The other 3 out of the 6 hasn't been. Like, I don't know. I think those are decent numbers.
I think Bag Milk and Nick even alluded to it that like last night he was probably the best Oiler on the ice.
In the third period, like I said, he rang that one off the post. He was buzzing
fast. He was playing hard. Like, he was good hockey. He's on a 4th line. He's playing 13 minutes in a game. If he is banged up, that could be an issue there too. It's 4 fucking games. Like, let's relax.
Calm down.
Pump the brakes.
Speaking of ice time, though, well, we'll do this after the skipthedishes.ca plug, because Tyler had a little incident this afternoon on his way into the studio.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that what we need to do, Tyler, is from the radio station, you just come directly here and then order whatever that cocktail is that you've got there. Mm-hmm. Right from skipthedishes.ca. They'll bring it to you. No more waiting in the pull-through portion of the drive-through.
It'd be quicker. It would be. I'd just meet the skip driver here.
Don't let drive-thrus ruin your day, Tyler.
Yeah,
I know. Well, it's not it's pretty easy to ruin my day. But the drive-thrus have been doing it lately.
Wow.
And I also noticed, Rick, on the weekend you were having some skip the dishes decision problems.
I had dilemmas.
How'd it work?
I don't think I ended up. I just went with a pizza. But last night I was in the same situation, and I went with a certain chicken joint here, not fried chicken, and it was not what I ordered.
What?
Oh,
I pressed the button, and Skip the Dishes helped me out very much. And my next, I don't have to go through the same chicken people. But I have a little credit with them, so I got to say thank you, Skip the Dishes, for making that so easy.
Not only does skipthedishes.ca bring you whatever you are looking for from thousands of restaurants around the capital city, their customer service is there to help you if you need it. Fine people, fine service, fine selection. Skipthedishes.ca. Get yourself something to eat. Just treat yourself. You deserve it.
You just give them like a commercial there?
I feel like I did a good job.
The triple fines?
I feel like I did a great job.
Incredible.
Before we were talking about Athanasiou, one thing I noticed last night when I was writing the wrap up that was interesting to me, Mr. Yaremchuk, is that Zach Kassian was the lowest played forward in terms of minutes last night. He played just over 9 minutes. Is he in the doghouse right now?
Yeah, I don't even think you could deny it. Like, I think coming off that suspension, I think the Oilers and Tippett were like rightfully a little irked by that, and they're making him earn absolutely everything right now.
He played 939. The next lowest guy, just let me scan, would be Riley Sheahan at 1150.
Where's my guy Jujar?
Where's Jujar?
He's third? This is incredible.
Jujar played 1329.
Impressive.
I would say Zach Kassian has minutes have been down even before he was.
He got in a little bit of trouble there in his own end of the ice before. Then he got the suspension, and they're whatever. You've got to work your way out of it. It's not a big issue. He'll go out there. He had a real nice pass for the arch goal. He's got the talent. He's got the drive, and whatever. He'll bring his way back up to the top again.
Do you like the idea of Tippett putting guys in the doghouse and making them earn it back?
I think it can ignite a bit of a fire, especially in a guy like Kassian, who we've seen it over the last few years. Remember when he came here and it was the playoff year and he was running everyone over, high energy. They gave him the deal, and then as soon as he got that deal the next season, it was like, all right, well, we're probably, he's exploring trade options. Oilers give him permission to look around because his play completely fell off. So I think he is a guy who does need to be motivated. With that being said, he played 939 at 5-on-5, and when he was on the ice, the Oilers outshot the opposition 7-4. I think it is time to put him back with McDavid. I think you need to get a consistent line mate going for McDavid, and I think Kassian is probably the best option to do that. So I would have him back on the top line. I think the earning it thing was right for Tippett to do that, but now it's time to try to put your best lineup forward.
We need to win on Saturday. We can't let's go into a 2-gamer. So you going with Athanasiou as well on that line there, Ty?
No, I go with Ennis still. I like Ennis's puck retrieval.
That's fair.
I think he gets into the corners better. I think he does a good job of getting McDavid the puck in the offensive zone. So I have Ennis on the left side, Cass on the right side.
Double A with Sheahan and Arch.
Yeah, I think that could be a decent little line too with the real speedy wingers.
It's got some speed on it too, right? And we all know that Arch can get to the net. So
yeah, that would be my top 9 right now. I'm not sure if I love Kara at center either, but that's a whole nother debate.
Nick, who are your ideal wingers for Connor right now that people are starting to get healthy?
Yeah, man, it's interesting. I like I said, I agree. Ennis is a smart player, but I want to see Athanasiou back up there. I could do without Kassian back on the top line. Like I think he played fine on that third line. I think balancing the energy and the. Do
you have a better option to play in his spot on the top line then? Like, do you
I think James Neal's fine up there. I think James Neal plays pretty well with McDavid. I think the fact that he is quote unquote slow actually helps drive the play a bit because he can come in as a bit of a rover behind
last man in.
Yeah, faster guys like that and pick up some dirty goals, which the Oilers need to be a lot better at doing. As you saw against Chicago, Chicago just destroyed us in front of the net in the high danger area. So the Oilers need to get better at countering with their own attack that way. But yeah, I think that's fine. And yeah, having Kassian on the second or on the third line with Sheahan and Archibald is fine.
Dan, who are your 2 ideal wingers for Connor McDavid?
Yeah, I hate having Neal and Chason on the fourth line. I just think it's like a waste of a potentially,
Chason gets his power play time though.
But where else would you put him?
Well, that's why I like to see Neal up on the top line with Ennis and McDavid, and then you're working down the line up there. So you've got Jujar and Chason down with, I guess it would be
Ennis or Double A.
Double A, yeah. I don't know. That's tough. It's a nice problem that we have right now.
Well, even just in the top 9 that Tyler said, Neal's not in there, Chason's not in there.
Yeah, so that's a fourth line of Chason, Neal, and
I think what's nice about having a fast energy line too, like Cassie and Sheahan and Archibald, is keep in mind once that power play goes out there, most of the guys in the top 2 lines are out there for 2 full minutes. So you're deploying a third or fourth line right after that. And if you put out guys like Cassie and Archibald and can continue that forecheck and that energy grind out there, then I think it's good to have that balance in that way.
That next line though is usually a broken line too, right? Because it's usually okay, you're going to get 20 seconds of this, but means you're going to have to do 20 to 30 seconds outside. And none of you guys can be a power plays, and you got part of this line, part of that line, and it's kind of like the opposite of when they do McDrysaddle after every penalty.
I think having once Clefbaum is Clefbaum back by the way tomorrow.
He's supposed to be a game time decision.
Wilkie says he's a maybe.
I think they play him.
So I don't know if you have this on the rundown at All Bag Milk, but if he comes back, who comes out? Is it Russell?
Yep. So to me, it's Russell. I don't know how you can even put together an argument for any other guy because he does, especially going lefties, righties.
Slide Jones back down.
I think so. Jones is.
Jones has been really good.
Honestly, I would say work Clefbaum back in and start him on the third pairing with Benning first. Because Jones and Larson have played well together.
Well, you can put him back
They've
with
had a
his
couple rough games though.
You can put him back on his spot, but you don't have to give them like the 25 minutes. You can spread those you can spread those minutes out a little bit better. I wouldn't change up the pairs, but you can definitely work on the deployment instead.
Jones, I have his numbers up for you guys right now. Against Anaheim, 64. This is even strength. 64% of the shot, 64% shots for. Against Vegas, 55. Against Winnipeg, 54. Against Nashville, 58. But these last 2 games, Dallas and Chicago, 28 and 42. I know the rest of the team hasn't been great either, but I don't know. I think Tippett could. I think he will sit Jones.
Yeah, but those are. I mean, that's how a rookie.
They're pretty surface numbers, I know, but I think...
No. I was going to say that's how a rookie plays. Like, because if you look at the games before that against Anaheim, he has a 52.4 scoring chance percentage right there, and then 46. Like, if you're all setting between 45 and 55, that's not bad. Like, just because you're below 50 doesn't mean it's bad. It's actually kind of average.
And you got to keep giving him the opportunities to correct his game.
Yeah,
you can't just take him out. And
honestly, when you look at if you look at Larson compared, like Larson is just. People who want to trade Adam Larson fucking drive me crazy, man. The guy is such a quality, expert, shutdown defenseman, and he makes Caleb Jones look decent. When Caleb Jones has good numbers like that, it's because Adam Larson is playing incredibly well on his right side.
I just think that Tippett is a guy that shades towards the vets, and I think Russell. And I'm not saying that's wrong or right. He's done something fucking right this year. So, and I've kind of liked that there's been more of a tinge of trust in Tippett's decisions because he is figuring stuff out. Right, Smyth has been really good, and people can point to the numbers of Koskinen and say like he's a better goalie, but Tippett seems to figure out that mojo of the team right now, and that's good. But I just think that Tippett probably wants to keep Russell in the lineup, probably slides.
He'd have to be hard pressed to convince me that he's a better option right now, especially at lower minutes.
I would agree with Nick or Rick. Just Caleb Jones is looking really, really good right now,
and he's playing out of his league again right now. Right, like he's not supposed to be playing that second line minutes. So let's bring him back down to 14, 15, 16, 17 and see what he does there against that type of caliber of competition as well.
I was going to say, though, Nurse and Bear have been taking almost all the hard minutes. Nurse and Bear play against the other team's top line. They've been doing that pretty much every game for a month now.
And that's why I cannot wait for Clefbaum to come back in, because just reducing Darnell Nurse and Ethan Bear's minutes is going to make them look better.
And it's just like when you brought Yam in, and it just allowed guys to filter down to a place where they're a little more comfortable with quality competition and more minutes that way.
I also want to see what life is like without Chris Russell, because it's going to be that way next year probably.
Well, we did though when he was out there, when he was concussed for a bit.
We
did fine.
So to me, I would fine without Clefbaum though, right?
I would also
but it's not. It's a lot less sustainable.
Kind of. What is Big
Trade McDavid.
Think with a return.
I would like to see Caleb Jones stay in.
You got to start looking at towards next year. Like I know we've definitely doing what we're doing this year, but there's got to be some vision to going forward, and that's where it is. And that's kind of where it too. When then Green comes back, it's who do you plan on having your team next year, Green or Benning? Or neither.
Probably Benning.
Yeah. Then how do you go and pluck Benning and put Green in there? That would trade really confused me.
They got a lot of D-men, man. It's
and that's
a good
fine.
problem to have.
100%. It's just it's got to be tough to look at Matt Benning in the summertime if you pulled him out for Green in the playoffs.
I just think that is more of like when you're in the playoffs and you're starting to feel the grind, you have a veteran defenseman who's been to Stanley Cup Finals and has been deep in the playoffs.
And I get it.
That's all it is. I think.
But what if you're Matt Benning and you've been here a couple of years and there's nothing wrong with his game. I know people like to shit about it and stuff, but if you go look at the fancy stats there and stuff, they don't score when he's out there very often. He's doing his job.
He's a very quality third pairing defenseman. I don't understand what people want from Matt Benning sometimes. Mm-hmm. Steady minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Steady minutes.
I don't want to even notice him all game.
It's like Tyler said, it's going to be a good problem to have because they also have Daddy Bouchard that's going to be coming in eventually. Probably starting on that third pairing right side as well. So it's going to be interesting. But
how young is our defense next year?
That's another thing too, man. Like it is very realistic to expect Bear, Jones, and Bouchard will all be regular D-men next year.
Yeah, I do.
Which is crazy.
Looking ahead at tomorrow's game against the Blue Jackets, like Rick said, this is all games are must win at this point.
Don't use the must win because I think that's overused. But you need to bounce back. You need to come back and show that what we did. We need that game against Nashville. We need that type of a game.
Looking at the Blue Jackets, they are 2-4-4 in their last 10. They are 12-9-11 on the road. They lost a heartbreaker in Calgary the other night. which I was having a cocktail.
Our hearts.
I was watching it.
I was mad, man.
Super mad. Like, there was 2-0 with 5 minutes left, something like that, roughly.
That massive save in overtime too.
Yeah.
They lose in overtime. Just, you fucking idiots. So my question to start, who starts in net tomorrow for the Edmonton Oilers? Is it Koskinen or is it Smith? To me, based on his last 2 outings, including last night in relief, I'm going with Mikko Koskinen.
Well, there's the game Saturday, then a game Monday, and then a game Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Because you definitely have to look ahead too to see what's going on. But yeah, there's an argument for both sides of this. There's an argument to get Kate, Mike, shitty, sorry, get back in there and get back into your way. And there's Kate, Mikko, you're up. Let's go.
So looking at the schedule, we got Columbus on Saturday. Golden Knights are here on Monday. Then it's Winnipeg is here on Wednesday, and the New York Islanders on Friday to round out the week. And then next weekend, they've got Philly on Sunday, Washington on Monday. So there's a back-to-back.
In the games this week, are there any matchups there where you're like, hey, so-and-so has to play this game, and therefore can you work backwards from there? I think that's the way you have to look at it, right?
So we got Columbus, Vegas, Winnipeg, New York.
Like the Vegas game is going to be big. So who do you want to be in your Vegas goalie? Again, therefore, can he play Saturday?
So last game against Vegas, it was Mikko. He had a .909 save percentage. Just outdueled by Marc-Andre Fleury in that one. Nick, what do you think?
I wrote it again about it in the morning report. I think Koskinen is who you want to go with just because I know Dan alluded to it. His stats are better. His deep stats are better too. Like if you look at what's called goal saved above average, Mike Smith is like 4th last in that category. That just means like the quality of shots he's facing compared to other goalies, he's letting in more goals with the same amount of quality shots and amount of chances against. And Koskinen is on the positive side of that. And I just think that it's funny. I was thinking about it against Chicago when after Smith got pulled. It's funny how different they play, the 2 goalies. And that's a good problem to have. I think it's important to have 2 goalies who play different styles. But it's so interesting. Like Koskinen is just so steady back there. And the one thing that drives me crazy about Mike Smith, I read it on Twitter not too long ago, and I think it summed it up perfectly. Mike Smith plays like a fucking road hockey goalie sometimes.
He does, man. I've been saying that for all year.
And like the fact, like as soon as he feels pressure coming into the zone, he just flops onto his stomach and tries to make these like scorpion style saves, which prompted somebody in the comment section to call him Scorpion King Mike Smith the other day, which I thought was funny.
I like that.
And so it's like sometimes I get that, like the fire and the energy is great to have. And, we want to see that in the Battle of Alberta. But sometimes it's also nice to have, you're going to have a guy who's just going to like be technically sound back there.
Mikko's way more technically sound.
But you're talking like, and obviously the comparisons here are out to lunch, but you're looking at a Patrick Waugh and a Hasek type of goalie, right?
Yeah.
A guy who sits there and he's steady and he's whatever. And then there's Hasek who you're not sure what he's doing out there, but
the problem is to be that kind of player, to be that kind of goalie, you have to be really fucking good at being that kind of goalie.
We've said it a bunch of times. It's like you live by the sword, die by the sword of Mike Smith. And last night, and I'm not blaming the loss on him, he didn't have a great night, but nobody did. No. There was a couple of times where he was like the Jonathan Taves wraparound goal. He may as well have been at the blue line for that one. He got caught out.
I think he assumed the puck was like in the net already. That's why he like turned around like, fuck. Fuck.
And then the Kane goal where I believe he thought that Caleb Jones was a Blackhawk player removing the stick from his hand, so he kind of flopped.
What?
It looked like to me like he was selling but it looked like he was selling the stick getting knocked out of his hand more than he should have, because I think he assumed that Jones wouldn't hit his stick. So then he's out of position. Not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I just think that to answer the question about the Blue Jackets game, Tippett is going to go back to Smith. I think he's okay, and he's rightfully okay to think that Koskinen can play against Vegas if Smith has another bad game. But I think he's going back to Smith again.
Tyler?
I think this team can't afford a bad performance between the pipes. And right now, I think Mikko Koskinen is the safe play. You look at the 2 starts right now for Mike Smith that I've pulled up on the screen. He's faced 51 shots and given up 7 goals. Look at Mikko Koskinen's 2 appearances so far in March. He's faced 53 shots and allowed 1 goal. It's a no-brainer, man. You got to go back to Mikko tomorrow night.
Are we even games played between those 2 guys still?
Mikko's played 36 games, has 32 starts. Smith has 36 starts. So 36-32 for starts.
It's going to be interesting as we get closer to the playoffs, because this goaltending thing is not going.
Game 1's going to be interesting.
Well, I think it's coming to the point now where Smith's had a couple of bad performances. He had that hot stretch through through January and into February.
But he wins.
Some might say he's Vasilevsky-esque,
but he wins
in his record. But yeah, it's one of those things that I just think that right now Tippett has the pulse of his goalies more than anybody, and so you trust what he's doing right now. But yeah, I believe that Koskinen is primed and ready to take over the net going forward.
So your
better
choice,
numbers too.
Your choice would be Mikko, but you think coach goes
that,
with?
I think you guys are all right. You're giving the analysts kind of look at the play. Koskinen's had a great week. Smyth hasn't, but I just believe that Tippett is going to keep going back to that Smyth well until he can't anymore, and then Koskinen's going to go with it right into the playoffs.
It's going to be interesting. The thing is with the goaltending with the Edmonton Oilers, you never know which one's going to go in, and sometimes we'd be like, "Why are you doing that, Tippett?" And then they win, and you're like, "Well."
But do we ever feel that way when Koskinen goes in?
I think we have. We've sat here and talked about it before, and then there's times where you're just like, all right. And honestly, at this point, I try not to answer goalie questions anymore. I just don't. I don't know. Like,
and you know, the thing is too is that this time of year, whoever gets hot down the stretch, that's just who you roll with. It doesn't matter who has the better stats going into it. Like come playoff time, whatever guy catches fire, you just roll with that guy, and he takes you to Stanley Cup final. Like, man, fucking Michael Layton took the Flyers.
the final.
Remember, but I think they started with Boucher in that
that's what I
playoff
mean.
run, right? Like, it was a shit show.
It's whoever, even when Cam Ward beat us in 06, man, it was Urban.
Didn't happen.
No, Gerber.
Sorry, I do that every time. It was Martin Gerber started the first round for them.
I remember Game 6 and then the rest being canceled. That's what I remember.
UC.
All I'm saying is
Thank
that
God for UC.
I think Dan said it right. Tippett knows his goalies well. He knows what makes them tick. Like, who knows? Maybe it's even whoever just had a better morning skate that day, and he's just like, "Fuck, I'm feeling." He reminds me of like
they raced down the
entire plate of breakfast.
Well, no, they raced down the hall. They raced down the hallway pre-game. He's like, "Oh, everything started tonight."
No, like he reminds me of like a Dusty Baker in like as a baseball manager, which is like it's just his gut feeling. He's like, "I'm feeling Smith today. I'm going with Smith."
Could you imagine that race though? Now I'm thinking about Rick's thing. Those are two large gentlemen, and that is a lot of limbs flying around. Like,
oh yeah, no one's allowed to be anywhere close.
I feel like Smith would take it too seriously though, and like body check Mikko into the wall or something.
Well, if we do it on like one of those inflatable things, there's that wall down the middle, so you can't touch. You don't want guys fucking with each other.
You got them attached to bungee cords.
Yeah.
Nice.
an American Gladiator style joust for the net.
I'm more of an MXC fan myself, but
Around the horn, real quick. Score predictions. Around the horn, real quick. Score predictions on tomorrow. Tyler, your check.
I am going to say it'll be a thriller at Rogers Place, and the Oilers will win 6-3.
Ooh. Nicola's good.
Columbus is getting a really good goaltending right now, so I think it's going to be low scoring, 3-1 with an empty net.
Rick?
5-2 Edmonton.
Let's go, Daniel.
3-2 OT loss.
Yeah, I knew
I did it again.
I knew he was calling the OT loss.
He always goes.
Well, okay. Here's my thought process. We have had this is our 5th tour of Europeans coming to visit us. Our German friends are arriving this evening. That's going to be their first Oilers game.
Tyler's
our
doing
European
some calisthenics right now.
Don't usually have a good start to their trip with the Oilers, and then we're always kind of like, okay, it's going to get better. We promise it's going to get better, and it does get better. So I believe that they will lose the first game, and then we'll turn it into.
See, but it's a new year. It's a new year. It's a new Oilers. They're going to start. They're going to come in. It's going to come in, and they're going to get 5 wins.
Hold on, Dan.
happy,
You're blaming our guests?
Nope.
That's what it sounds like.
Nope. Yes. No. No, I just think that's the way it goes. And you know what? They'll be there cheering our MVP on real loud. So maybe Leon has a huge game.
I'm going to go with a 4-3 Edmonton win because I said so. Tyler, get your buttons ready. It is time for the Oodle Noodle hot and cold performers of the week.
He had to stop his stretching to get back to the mixer.
Oodle Noodle is giving away a trip for 2 to Thailand. All you need to do is go to their social media accounts. On Twitter, it's Oodle_Noodle, or on Instagram, it is @OodleNoodlegram. All you have to do is follow them. Follow AMA Travel. Tag them both along with your travel buddy. It is just that easy. The contest ends on March 15th.
And no, Thailand is not Tyler's bedroom, everyone.
He does call it Thailand, though.
What a scam that would be. We're giving away a trip to Tyler's back room.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
As we always do, we start with the veggies here. We're going to start with our cold performers of the week.
Ooh.
I'm going to look at... Dan's not ready, so I'm going with Dan.
Thank you.
What a teacher move.
Yeah.
And to call it out too.
I'm just bringing up the schedule here of the team that I'm going to call out. It's an entire team.
We were supposed to read pages 10 to 12 last night. Oh, I only read 10 to 11.
Fuck, were you in my high
chapter
school?
10 to 12? I think you said pages 10 to 12.
I'm having flashbacks.
You
to
got to call those
This is
teachers
rough.
out, man. You look them dead in the eye. Go for it. Call me out. And they like, no, this guy obviously knows what the fuck's going on. Leave him alone.
But my cold performer of the week is the Bakersfield Condors. And it's like, and that includes all of our Oiler prospects that are still there, which is not as many as it used to be, and so therefore there's an asterisk next to it. So on the graphic, Tyler, please put an asterisk next to it. But it's the Bakersfield Condors with an asterisk because they are just fucking ass right now. They are depleted, but they are bad. They have lost. I don't think they have a win in the last 30 days. So there you go. What did I say?
Don't worry about it.
Fucking ass.
So, Rick, your cold performer of the week, brought to you by Oodle Noodle.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's I think this is a tough one to pull out. We've had a decent little string here, and you go down and you look at players and who's underwhelming, and I don't know if there's one, but I guess you got to pick one. So hate to pick on him, but we're gonna go with Gaetan Haas.
Boo.
Tyler, no button?
I didn't get a button.
Oh, that's cold.
I thought the boo was instead of the button.
Boo.
Nick, your cold performer of the week, brought to you by Oodle Noodle.
The team didn't play well yesterday, but, the goalies play in a heightened position, so I got to go with Mike Smyth just because he got pulled. And Koskinen came in and didn't allow one single goal after that.
Mr.
It's a
Uremchuk.
fantastic point right there. Oh, wait, sorry, Nick. My cold performer, it's going to be Jujhar Khaira. He's not handling the move to center all too well,
I don't know
in
what
my
that's
opinion.
about.
I'd like to see Gaetan Haas in the lineup centering over him. I understand why Tippett's doing it because of the penalty killing, but haven't been a big fan of Jujhar Khaira at center, so he is my my cold performer of the week.
I just finished my homework. The Bakersfield Condors' last win came on February the 5th. So there you go. Full calendar month of no
Dan,
wins.
it had to be on Bag Milk's desk at the start of class,
Yes,
so
I
you
know.
still get 10%
I don't get
off.
part credit for that. No.
But that's good. That's good knowledge for anybody who's playing on Cool Bet.
Yeah, if you're betting on Condors games.
Which Tyler
Why
is.
not?
No, I've never bet on an American Hockey League.
No?
ECHL all the time.
Oh, wait till the
but not
playoffs
AHL.
end and you're still. I guess it's
Swamp
not
Rabbits,
really the
baby.
right time, but yeah.
My cold performer of the week is the Eastern media that keeps moving the goalposts in terms of what a Hart Trophy candidate should do.
It's got to have 232 points if you're going to play with Connor and play on the power play.
Whether it's playing with Connor McDavid, whether it is getting too many power play points, they have got an excuse for everything when it comes to why Leon Draisaitl should not win the Hart Trophy. To me, he is far and away the best player in the NHL this season. And my cold performer of the week is the Eastern media that keeps making up excuses.
Name them. Name each one of them. Let's go.
I don't have enough time.
The guy from Boston.
Oh, and
Hacks
also
with Hags?
secondary
Wyshynski.
cold performer of the week
Oh.
is TSN going with Matthews is going to win the Selke, the Rocket Richard, a Nobel Prize, and the Vezina probably.
I have money on him to do all those.
Selke in the future.
Wait,
Rocket
are they
Richard
actually
this year.
saying he's going to win Selke?
They
in the
said
future?
They said
well,
in the
Shanahan
future.
said he would.
He could win it down the road.
But the Richard, he's second right now.
I did actually like Ryan Getzlaff's quote from today. He's like, I don't know about too many 50 goal scorers that are good two-way players, but whatever. Switching gears, the Oodle Noodle Hot Performer of the Week. I'm starting with myself because you know who it's going to be.
No.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
What? I'm shocked.
4-game point streak. He has got 9 points over that span. He is lights out. And I also like that right now when he's scoring. I look down at my phone and I get a text from Tyler Uremchuk. And talks about the low shot, the fist pump with the leg up.
That was
order
Rick.
varies.
I thought Rick said that.
No, I brought the attention to the fact that Mark Messier has scored those goals all the time too.
Yeah, but Nugent-Hopkins, man, every goal he scores is the same. He picks up the puck, one leg up, snapshot, usually low blocker, sometimes low glove.
Yep.
Usually it's low blocker, and then his celebration. His first NHL goal was that against the Penguins. Remember, he picked it up in the slot and just picked a low corner. Then he does his cute little like two fists, like pointing at the guy that passed it. I'm like, yes.
So you're saying basically he's Alex Ovechkin.
Yes.
That is his Ovi move.
Put some respect on my name.
But right now, that low blocker shot is unstoppable.
It is.
When you put it the right dimensions, it is unstoppable.
The old 7-hole, right?
It's a fucking laser beam.
Was it 14 inches off the ice, I think, because the pads are like 12 or 13.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, once again, my hot performer of the week.
Put some respect on my name.
Amen. Tyler Yaremchuk, your Oodle Noodle hot performer of the week.
Pretty simple. He stopped 52 of the 53 shots that he faced. He single-handedly won them the game against the Dallas Stars, and he almost did enough to keep them in the game against the Chicago Blackhawks. The offense just needed a little bit more. Mikko Koskinen, he is my hot performer of the week because he's been...
Cash money.
Oh,
Yeah.
he got to time that himself.
Beautiful.
We do need some new buttons, though. So if you have ideas for new buttons for the button bar for the hot and cold, send them our way.
I got a couple of good ideas.
Excellent. Nicholas Good, your hot performer of the week.
We talked about him a little bit earlier, but I'm going with head coach Dave Tippett. And the reason being specifically, is in that Nashville game, down up 2-0. The Oilers start to bleed goals at the start of that second period, and he makes the shrewd decision to call that timeout. Calls that timeout early in the second period and calms the boys down and just regulates the game after that. And I think that is a veteran coach move, and that's the kind of thing that will win you a lot of games in the playoffs.
Pretty sure he's got a stockpile of timeouts that Todd McClellan just never used.
Todd never used them.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, man, if McClellan was still coaching, we'd be bleeding to death by the middle of the second period. Like, it'd be 5-2 by the middle of the second period.
Rick, your hot performer of the week.
Well, I know you guys picked your guys for the reasons, but Mr. 4 goals, Leon Draisaitl.
You mean a Texas hat trick?
That was hot. That's hot.
What's hot, the Texas hat trick? Or
I've never seen a Texas hat trick that's not hot.
So we've Googled. Yeah, okay, we all have. All right,
Please don't Google it.
Everybody saw the tweet. Okay, just checking.
Don't Google it.
Google it.
Dictionary tag.
Do not Google it. Okay, Google it. Don't Google it from your work computer.
By saying don't Google it, the more people are going to Google it.
Just don't use your work computer.
Yeah, definitely don't Google it at work.
Or around friends and family.
Or do it, whatever your kink is.
Gosh.
Dan, your Oodle Noodle hot performer of the week.
Well, it's our second round pick from last year's draft, the steal of the draft, I would say, Raphael Lavoie. Through Lavoie, sorry, Lavoie, if you're me. Through his previous 3 games last week, he had 6 points in 3 games, and then he's added another 4 points this week. So he is just absolutely on fire with the Chicoutimi Saguins.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
That's how you pronounce it, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Dan lived in Halifax.
I did live in Halifax. I followed the QM.
Wait, hold on. You what?
I did live in Halifax.
Oh.
I don't think I've mentioned it before ever on the podcast.
I still want your Twitter to be Dan from Halifax.
Yeah. So Raph Lavoie.
And then he tweets out daily Halifax.
Ouch.
Oh, there. See?
Nick's been really pushing that one.
Pushing this gimmick change for 6 months at least.
Just to wrap up this week's podcast, I want to tell everybody about the brunch party we've got coming up on the 15th. It is a 11:30 a.m. start against Philly. We are doing it at First Round downtown. We are back downtown. Tickets are available at nationgear.ca. They're only $10. We are raising some money for Junior Achievement of Northern Alberta. Excellent cause. Excellent opportunity to get everybody together, watch a game, have a good time. Swag bags, as always.
What else will there be?
Memories that last a lifetime.
There'll be a pop-up store, though, for Nation Gear.
Go out hooking.
Was that my button press? Because you never gave me a button press.
Go out hooking.
There we go.
Dan is so salty.
I am.
Go get your tickets to the brunch party. That is March 15th at First Round downtown. Raising money for a good cause. Watching a little hockey. Making new friends. Looking at people you follow on the internet that you don't have to talk to.
Speaking of downtown First Round, Bag Milk.
Go ahead.
If you want to come watch the game on Wednesday night, we will also be there with our 30 or so German friends. So if you're listening to the podcast, you're looking for somewhere to go on a Wednesday night to watch a hockey game, come watch it with our closest friends from Germany.
That is Wednesday the 11th.
First Round downtown.
Have yourself some wings. They're delicious. They're good for you, probably.
It's chicken. Of course it is.
That's going to wrap up episode 76 of Oilers Nation Radio. I want to thank Sherwood Ford the Giant out in beautiful Sherwood Park, Alberta. SkipTheDishes.ca for feeding me. And Oodle Noodle for making the hot and cold performer everything that you could ever hope to be.
Okay.
That's going to wrap it up this week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go Oilers.
Shout out Damien.
Best wishes. Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, a member of the Nation Network of Podcasts. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media to stay up to date and never miss a podcast.